A breathless ruler. Created out of our deepest nothing. Written by Morgan O. Smith. Whenever we speak of the unseeing, authoritative, ethical and moral God, we're talking about a creator who doesn't actually exist, but fully lives and breathes within our limited thoughts, which is a diminutive portion of what truly is. This organized religious God we speak of isn't of some upper paradise, but stems from the superior ego, the ego of the collective, a complex concept made up of morals, ethics, even policies and procedures. It is a part of our social, cultural and religious environment, the part of the collective ego we fully disowned, because it sits too high upon a heavenly pedestal, too sacred for us to believe it to be our own. This God we created is now here to govern us from the temptations of a so-called Satan, which really is our very own psycho-internal impulses. These are the same impulses in need of instant gratification, which is also capable of bringing us to our personal salvation. Yes, I'm speaking of the chaotic impulsiveness we all possess, which is the liberated, free-spirited facet of the human mind, intertwined with the primal aspects of the flesh. This is the shameful part of ourselves we are constantly at war with, a war within where surrender lies in the fantasy of the optimist, which takes place deep within where the ego and the liberated pulse fight to the finish, seeking dominance, so that one day, one will stand tall, sitting at the throne of the self-attained. Now there's a solution to all this. The answer is right in front of us. But when an enlightened being who lives beyond social constructs tells us who and what God really and truly is, we as primitives are so quick to chastise, by condemning him with curse-chanting lips. We believe this individual would be smitten by a vengeful God we claimed has given us the gift of free will, which supposed to be the one who gives man the right to think critically and to speak his or her personal truths. Because of this rigid belief we are unwilling to discard, this type of God is here to stay, even if we destroy the collective ego, eradicating all unifying bodies of governance, burning down all religious scriptures and law books. But even if we were able to rid of this God, then our collective impulse of high chaotic entropy would break loose, tearing order apart, ready to reassemble once we fulfill our wants and selfish desires with more disenchantment. So here we are, stuck with an overseer we believe has domination over us, and it does, as long as we believe it's against all that is sinful. We even say that this type of a God is the ultimate being, and it is, never realizing that we, the so-called limited beings we say we are, is making all the decisions. This disciplinary God, which really is a religious concept of man-made law, has no rule over the masses, until we give it power to do so. It is a fictional God, a lord of the land with no land to own, which is now real, but we're the ones who are actually in control. It is a God we govern, a God we rule, a God we tame who walks on a leash. It is a God playing God in reverse, a four-legged loyal beast which is man's best friend, who obeys our every command, but somehow without our knowledge. Now I'm here to tell you that you can never know God until you look over the shoulder of the golden idol in front of you. Our true and living God, the essence behind everything, isn't separate from us, it exists within and without and is the limitless collective of imaginative superminds of everything, and this everythingness is us and everything around us. To know the true and living God is to know that there is no God playing a God some of us claim to know. And once we fully awaken to this truth, bondage of the oblivious becomes no more. Now there is a creator. There is indeed. Yet I say there is no God, because there is no God outside of you. Everything you believe to be external is created by your own perspective from within. Even the very unique perspective created by you is you. You are consciousness, essence, spirit, existence, ultimate reality, playing the role as God, playing the physical, psychological and the emotional you. The true you isn't a being. You are a presence. A presence being present, presented by the same presence which is simultaneously absent. This presence is playing the many roles as energy, particles, atoms, molecules, cells, matter, objects, beings, macro systems and all its operational functions. It is an incredible essence always within your reach, only because you have the power to believe it to be so, yet you give all your power to a creator created by you, the true Allah, which can also be an abbreviation for 2 arms, 2 legs and 1 head. So tell me, who's the God now?